Alrighty, so this next slide on slide 9 says interpreting graphs, box, and whisker. So for the first one, it wants us to find the mode. Now, we don't know all of the individual data points that are part of this graph. We know, how they're spread out and what that minimum or maximum or the median is, but we don't know what the mode is. So we cannot say what the mode is. So that is something that you cannot get from a box and whisker plot. We also, because we don't know all those data points, we can't add them all up and divide by how many we have. So we also cannot find the mean. So that's a tricky part about box and whisker plots. We can use them to represent data, but when we're looking at one, we don't know exactly what the mode is or exactly what the mean is. We do know the median. That is always this line in the box plot. And our median here is a value of 50. So this is 50. And the range is our maximum, which is over here on the right at this 75, minus the minimum, which is at 25. So we have 75 minus 25, which gets us a full range of 50. We could also find the IQR, just to note. I should have put this on the slide. Hold on, that's messy. So our IQR, which is our Q3 minus Q1, is going to be this. Here's Q3 at 65. And here's Q1 at 40. So the range just of that interquartile box is 65 minus 40, which gets us 25. So make sure you have all that down and push to slide 10 when you are ready. So this histogram below shows the height in inches of students in Landon's class. So we have the number of students and then the height in these bucket bins for inches. So it says how many of the students in Landon's class are at least 65 inches tall. So they have to be 65 and they can be any taller than that. They have to be at least 65. So in the first bucket, we have 3 students that are between 65 and 66. In the second bucket, we have 5. In the third bucket, 69 to 70, we have 1 student. And then 71 to 72, we have 2. So all of these students that are at least 65 is 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2, which gets us 11 total students that are at least 65 inches tall. What fraction of students in Landon's class are between 65 and 68? So 65 and 68, let me erase what I have here. Get my pencil. Between 65 and 68, we want to look at these 2 bins. So those 2 bins have 3 students and then 5 students. So there's 8 students that are between 65 and 68 inches. But we want it as a fraction, so fractions are always part over total, right? So 8 of those students are in that fraction, but the total amount of students we have is 6 from the first column here, and then 5. And then we have our 3 and our 5. And then 1 person in that almost last bucket, and then the last bucket has 2. So when we add up our total number of students, we have 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 3 is 14, plus 5 is 19, plus 1 is 20, plus 2 is 22. So the fraction is 8 out of 22. 8 out of the 22 students are between 65 and 68. And the last question says, what could the range be? So we don't know exactly what the minimum or maximum is. It could be that the maximum is 72 and the minimum is 61. 72 minus 61 gets us a value of 11. So that's one option. It could be 11. It could also be 72 minus 62, which would get us a range of 10. So those are the two options if our maximum is 72. But because that bucket is 71 to 72, our maximum could also be 71 minus 61, which would be 10 again, or 71 minus 62, which is 9. So it could either be 9, 10, or 11 for our range. We don't know for sure because we don't know exactly what the max or minimum is because these histograms give us those bucket options. So get everything you need here on this slide, my friends. And then we have one more slide to do after this. So when you're ready, go ahead to slide 11. These are looking at two different brands' battery lives. So we're seeing brand X and brand Y. They're given to us both as a box plot. So the median for brand X is right here, that line in the middle of the box, which is at 13. And for brand Y, our median is 16. Then we're looking at the range. So the range of brand X, our maximum is 16 because of this point, and our minimum is 11. So 16 minus 11 gets us 5. For brand Y, our maximum is 18, and our minimum is down here at 10. So 18 minus 10 gets us 8. Oops, I wrote that in the wrong spot. Up here. That gets us a range of 8. And then finally for the IQR, we're looking at just the box, which goes from 12 to between 14 and 15. So 14 and a half minus 12. So when we subtract 14.5 minus 12, we get 2.5. And for the other one, we're going from a Q3, which is 17, to Q1, which is 15, which is 2. Beautiful. So there's our brand X and brand Y for median, range, and IQR. Alrighty, the last slide here on the Peardeck is taking a little check-in on how you feel about mean, median, mode, IQR, range. Does it feel too hard, just right, too easy? You can just drag that star into how you are currently feeling about this Peardeck. Nice job working through this, y'all. I will see you on the next activity. Take care, friends.